All right, welcome to the week 3 as we cover the 12-week action plan through the 2020 WebCenter half marathon contest. Last week we discussed in week 2 how to qualify appointments and what really is a qualified appointment. We talked about using your current research on your candidate list. We also discussed how to use the 15-minute appointments and the consultation sheets, the assessment sheets, to further qualify the appointment. We also talked about making sure that you have decision makers on the appointments and how to close them into the demo appointments with product specialists. Now, sometimes along the way, actually more often than not, you might run into something that we call a gatekeeper, right? So a gatekeeper actually will prevent you from getting the appointment or actually getting to the decision maker. And it's actually before you even get to handling objections. It actually stops you or prevents you or limits you from getting to the person that you really need to speak with about their digital marketing. So this week we're going to talk about gatekeepers, and another form of a gatekeeper is voicemail. I know a lot of people, they get trapped in voicemail or get ghosted, right? Those are all methods of gatekeeping from business owners. So let's talk a little bit about it. Let's define what is a gatekeeper. Well, just like the name implies, it's an attendant at a gate, right? In this case, in a business organization or an association, it's their job to really control who goes through that gate to get to the decision maker, right? It could be a variety of people. In fact, you might actually make a contact where the decision maker is acting like a gatekeeper, right? Because they're trying to value their own time and really trying to determine if or when they should open that door to actually continue a conversation, in this case, an appointment. So right in your 12-week action plan, week 3, there's some great tips there about gatekeepers and voicemails. So again, if it's face-to-face, it might be someone at the front desk, the reception desk, that's preventing you. It could be at the host or hostess stand, could be at the bar, depends on the type of business. In many cases, it's the person who answers the phone. So the person who answers the phone is preventing you from getting through to the right contact, right? So the gatekeeper screens calls and visitors, and typically deflecting the ones that he or she believes are important or unimportant. So what happens is that before you can even speak to the decision maker and really provide value on whether or not you can get an appointment, you've got someone else who's trying to make that determination, right? And again, a voicemail is a different type of a gatekeeper or a screening process. Now, why do these people or mechanisms stay in place in an organization or a business? Well, most businesses get more than 10, more like 10 to 20 solicitations per day. It could be the office supply sales rep. It could be the local newspaper. It could be another internet marketing firm. It could be someone who says that they're calling from Google. It could be someone requesting donations for the local sports organization. It could be a point of sale um, rep. It could be a distributor for a different type of company or product. It could be a janitorial supply company, a cleaning company. It could be the copy machine equipment repair facility. It could be the person that cleans the swimming pool at the rec center, right? There are so many contacts that are trying to get businesses' attention, and we are seen as those people. So it's important to know how to engage with the gatekeeper and how to work yourself into the conversation by building relationships. So what you need to do is you need to be different, be consistent, and be personable, and always think relationship first. Because what they are thinking is, who are you and what are you selling, right? That's the initial thought process. And you may have this same experience as a consumer, someone that calls your residence or calls your cell phone nowadays, and it's a number that you don't recognize. What do? A lot of people, we call it caller ID them out, right? Well, I don't recognize that number, so I'm going to let it go to voicemail, or I'm going to decline the call. What is that? It's your way of screening your calls. And if you're doing it, businesses are doing it too. Think about when that phone rings, you are thinking, who is this contact? Who is this person? And why are they calling? And what are they trying to sell me? Are they trying to sell me on a warranty package for my car? Are they trying to sell me on a new bank account? Are they trying to sell me on a new political view? Are they trying to sell me on an article that's going to be voted on at the town voting? Is it going to be the local newspaper trying to get my subscription? Is it the cable company? Right? All of these companies that reach out to you, you are thinking the same thing. So put yourself in the position of that person that you're contacting at the business, right? They're thinking, who are you and what are you selling, right? So it's an assumptive thought process. They're going to be wondering, what do you look like? What do you sound like, right? Do you appear and sound like a salesperson, right? Why are you here? What do you want? Right? Why are you here? Why are you taking my time? And what do you want? Get to the point, right? My time is valuable and I need to usher you out or in. Who are you? And how long should I listen? And when can I usher you out politely, right? So how long do I invest my time in you? And that's what they're thinking. So you have 5 to 8 seconds to create a first impression to buy yourself another 5 to 8 seconds, right? And that's important, right? You don't have 30 seconds. You don't have a 1 minute commercial. You don't have 2 minutes. You literally have seconds to make an impression to try and get their attention. So it is so important to build rapport. Even on an initial phone conversation or phone call to this gatekeeper, your goal is to get them to know you, like you, and trust you. So you need to build this similarity. You need to let them know that you are a local person, that you are a consumer of theirs, that you've been to their establishment, or that you know the business owner, or that you know someone who is employed there, or that you were referred by one of their clients, patrons, or customers. Get them to know you, get them to like you, be light, right? Listen to their tone, right? If you can tell it's really busy or hectic, ask their permission. Hey, can I call you back at a better time? That's going to build a lot of value and a lot of trust in you, that you respect their time and respect their position. So that is the ultimate goal. In this first 5 to 8 seconds, you're not going to be able to get them to trust you in 5 to 8 seconds, but you're going to get them to, at least know you and maybe like you based on your demeanor, your tone of voice, your clarity, right? If you're rushed, you've got a sense of urgency, you sound nervous, you're speaking fast, you're not listening to them, those are going to be ways that are going to do the opposite. And in many cases, you might get hung up on or put right to voicemail, or you might even get the "we're not interested," right? Well, they don't know what they're not interested in. They are just trying to make a determination as quickly as possible, right? In person, are you presentable? Are you friendly, nice? Are you interested in them? Right? A lot of this can just be done through body language. Best thing you can do is smile, right? Smile, engage in a conversation, right? Have friendly eyes, use a friendly tone. If they speak softly, you speak softly. If they're a little bit louder, you can elevate your tone a little bit, right? So that mirroring and matching has been shown to break down barriers because there's a connection, right? And that's what you're trying to do, is create this connection. And from there, you're trying to identify, do you have anything in common? Now, the most important thing that you all have in common with your candidates is that you are local to them, right? So when you bring up a point like, I've been to your establishment, or I've driven by here, or I was behind one of your lettered vehicles, or someone in my neighborhood recommended that I contact you for your service, that builds a local trust. Because in digital and internet marketing, companies are getting calls from all across the globe trying to sell what? Google ads, Facebook ads, search engine optimization, website services. But when you're the local person, there's a layer of trust there because there's a commonality. You're not calling from the other side of the country, someone that they don't even know, right? So language is important as well. Your dialect, right? Your accent, right? All play a part in this prejudgment. It happens. People say, well, don't judge a book by its cover, but guess what? Everyone does. It's natural, it's human nature. So you need to have that on your side. So you need to think about this. Ask basic questions. Where do you live? What do you do? Who do you know? It's all part of that form, family, occupation, recreation, money, in a way that you can just establish a common ground. Maybe they've got children that play in town on the same sports teams. Maybe they're, you saw, like I said, you saw them down the street working on someone's home. Okay. Where is your business located? I saw you that, you were down the street from my neighbor's house, right? What other services do you provide, right? You're getting some of those initial questions only to build the relationship, right? You need to really have this intentional conversation. Why are you there? Are you there to sell, or are you there to help the business? Are you there to listen and learn about the business? And how can you help them, right? And what do you do? Then, most importantly, is who can you speak with? Notice that it's not who do you speak with first, right? Because if you go in to a conversation and your only goal is to identify who the decision maker is, you have devalued that gatekeeper, or the person that is the most important person in that business right then, is that person in front of you, right? You want to make them your ally. And if you discount that relationship, they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth, and they're going to seem that they are not worthy. And when they do that, they don't feel good. Your no like trust factor goes down. The likelihood of you getting through and having a positive experience is low, right? So think about that. You don't want to target the decision maker initially. You want to build some value, trust, and relationship with the person that you're speaking with, because you don't know if that person is the decision maker, or if they're a gatekeeper, or they're the decision maker's spouse or child. We don't know that. So we need to go in with the assumption that every relationship is important. And then once you establish some common ground, then you can use your power statement and why you're calling. The reason I'm calling is, would you be the person that I would speak to? Right? Give them the benefit of the doubt. Let them feel important, because they know everything about the business. In fact, they probably know more about the business than the business owner gives them credit for. So you probably make all the decisions around here, don't you? And when you use that light tone, it breaks them down a little bit. They kind of laugh and they say, oh yeah, I wish, or yeah, I wish people realized how much I knew about the business, or yeah, I'd love to make decisions. I'd run this completely different, right? But the idea is that you're establishing that common ground so that they are on your side. Then you can say, well, who would be the best person for me to speak to besides you? They're going to let you know who that is. Oh, you need to talk to Jim, or you need to talk to Susan. Great. When is the best time to reach them, and how is the best way to reach them? Now you're more likely to break down those walls. Okay. So let's go over some basic kind of mechanics of a great introductory call, right? Now, when you're contacting someone on the phone, you might say, my name is, right? That's your introduction. You might be in person, right? My name is, that's an introduction. However, when you use the term my name is, it immediately establishes this subconscious level of the person who's on the phone, that you are new to them, that you do not know them. So if you're contacting someone by telephone, it may be best to use the phrase, this is Jason, right? Because now it's not an introduction, right? If you're in person, great, my name is Jason, right? Smiling in my face, introducing myself. The reason I'm stopping in, that's important. They want to know, because they want to know, why are you here? You need to bring that up front, because that's going to buy you that 5 to 8 seconds. The reason I'm stopping in is because now you need to build that local trust, right? I was in the area. I was next door. I was on my way to the doctor's office. I was on my way to the restaurant down the street. I was actually speaking to someone yesterday about your establishment. Whatever it is, the reason I'm stopping by is, and then build that common connection, right? Then more specifically, your power statement, right? I help restaurants get more traffic from their online marketing efforts. Now you're adding in another 3 to 5 to 8 seconds, building trust, building value. Now, what is the most valuable thing to anyone nowadays? It's their time. It's their time. So you want to bring up the thing that you're concerned about them saying. They don't have time, they don't have money, they don't want to speak with you. So bring it up front. I don't want any of your time right now. I know that you're busy. I've actually got to run to my next meeting, or I'm on my way next door. But I was wondering who I would speak to about your online marketing. Would that be you? Right? You want to apologize. You want to request permission to simply ask that question. You're just kind of data mining. And then you can, from that point, request more information. When is the best time to reach so-and-so? When is the best time to reach Susan? And how do they best communicate? If I wanted to schedule a little bit of time to learn more about what your business does, not teach you or tell you or sell you or share more information about internet marketing. The goal of the consultation appointment, the goal of this interaction is to learn more about the business, to see what they do and to see if you can help. So when is the best time to reach Joe, and how does he best communicate if I want to schedule some time to learn more about what is important to your business, right? So this structure will break down the walls of those gatekeepers. It's not 100% guarantee. There's no guarantees, but I'll tell you that it's a soft way to really structure these initial contacts so that you're more successful. Again, you're just looking, if we make a football analogy, you're looking for first downs. You're looking for a first down to get another set of plays, to get another first down, to get another set of plays, to get another first down, to get another set of plays, all the way through until you can get the product specialist on the phone with your candidate to close the deal. But if you go right for the sale or really go into selling mode up front, you're trying to get from one side of the field to throw a touchdown pass at the other end of the field. Now you might get lucky, but chances are you're going to have to run that play a lot with a lot of candidates to hopefully win the game, right? But right now you're just looking for first downs. And for me, I want to really draw that analogy and say that you're looking for a way to buy 5 seconds. Give me 5 more seconds. What can I say or what can I ask to engage in a conversation to buy me 5 more seconds? Because I know the longer I can be either in front of someone or on the phone with someone, they're getting to know me. They're getting to like me. They're getting to trust me because now we're matching our tone. I'm learning about them. And now what's happening is we're establishing a relationship. Now, always thank them. Thank you so much. If they give you any information, they give up the decision maker's name, they give up the best time to reach them, they give up any information about the business itself, thank them. Thank them for their time. Thank you so much, right? Then what you can do is now switch into continuing to data mine by building that relationship if they will let you. You'll know if they're getting annoyed. You'll sense in their tone, their language, their body language, if they are trying to exit that conversation. So you are trying to build an ally, a friendship, a relationship inside that business because you want people on your side so that when you do talk to the decision maker, you have influencers on your side. So if you haven't gotten already, I apologize. I didn't even catch your name. Again, always take the responsibility. Apologize. How long have you worked here? Wow, you probably know everything about the business. How's business going? What's going well? What do you think you guys could improve? Are you guys currently doing anything to fix that? What do you guys do to get new customers to know about your business? What would you change if you could? Right? When you ask these open-ended questions, these people feel important because you're asking them. You're asking them, you didn't overstep them and just ask for the decision maker, but this part of the data mining, we talked last week about how important it is to qualify the appointment. So you can do this upfront as part of your, this is almost like the 10 to 15 minute consultation right here because you're fact finding, you're data mining, right? You're digging for some content that you can either do further research or bring up at your appointment with the decision maker. And these people, they want to be heard. They know about this business. They are the ones that have the interaction with the customers and the clients. They're the one who has the interaction with all the marketing reps and advertising sales reps and what they're doing. So they become very valuable to you. So make them feel valuable. They're worth it, right? So don't interrogate them, but just in conversation, ask some questions. Great. How long have you worked here? Right? Have you guys always been here? How long have you been at this location? Do you have any other locations? How many people work here? Oh, that's fantastic. Now, does someone else, do you share responsibilities here? Or are you solely in charge of, the office administration here, right? You're, again, building relationship, adding value. Again, thank them again. Thanks again. It was great talking with you, and say their name, right? Thanks again. It was great talking with you, Joe. Great. It was great talking with you, Sally. When you say their name, there's something that happens subconsciously, right? Saying their name builds that relationship stronger, right? A stronger relationship. Let Joe know that I'll reach out on Tuesday, like you suggested, see if there's a way that we can set up a time and I can learn more about the business and see if I can offer some help. I can offer some help. I've got some ideas that I would love to run by Joe, right? Build some curiosity. You're not going to talk about the fact that, we're trying to help businesses with their online presence, with their website. We've got a new website program called Oasis. No, pump the brakes, slow it down, and really be intentional to engage and build that relationship. And I'll tell you that you're going to get higher qualified appointments, higher retail sales, and better referrals and long-term relationships. You will have clients for decades if you start this way. Okay. Think of it like dating. It's like prospecting, right? Take your time. Take your time. You're not going to meet someone the first time and ask them to marry you. Take your time. You've got plenty of time, right? And of course, most importantly is follow up and follow through. So when you call back, right, you hit a gatekeeper. You called a gatekeeper or you ran into them at their office. Now they prevented you, but they gave some great information. So when you call back, hi, Sally, use their name. Hi, Sally, this is Jason, right? We spoke last week. Did I catch you at a good time or are you in the middle of something? We know that Sally's in the middle of something. We know that Joe is in the middle of something. Everyone is in the middle of something. Everyone is busy. Why do we say that? Did I catch you at a good time or in the middle of something? Because it's different than, hi, how are you? Think when someone asks you that, hi, how are you? Do they really care or do they have their own agenda? It's just filler space. It's words. They genuinely don't care, and neither do you. So let's try and change it so that it's a little bit different. It stuns them a little because it's not the typical, hi, Sally, this is Jason. How are you today? I was wondering, right? That is like that monotonous call that they get every single day, 10, 20 times a day. But when you say, hi, Sally, this is Jason. Did I catch you at a good time or in the middle of something? Oh, I'm in the middle of something. I understand. I totally get it. I don't want to take any of your time right now. But the reason I'm calling is because I was telling, right? And this is if you get to Joe at this point, right? Sally is the gatekeeper and she says call Joe. Well, when you call Joe, hi Joe, use Joe's name. Hi Joe, this is Jason. Did I catch you at a good time or in the middle of something? Jason, nice to meet you, but I am swamped right now. I understand that, Joe. I don't want to take any of your time right now because I know your time is valuable. Reason I'm calling is that I spoke with Sally last week and she recommended I speak with you. Ooh, now it's not your idea to call Joe, it was Sally's. And he trusts Sally. Joe trusts Sally because she's the gatekeeper. And if she gave up Joe's number and name and time to call, then there must be something in it. And now you've built a little bit of trust. Now Joe's getting to know you a little bit and trusts you based on the relationship that you made with Sally, right? I understand. I don't want to take any of your time right now, Joe. I know that you're crazy busy. I mentioned something to Sally last week and she recommended I get in touch with you. I'd just like to learn more about your company and learn about what you're doing and see if there's a way I can help you. Sally mentioned that right now you're straight out really busy with a lot of new customers. And I've got some ideas for you. Or Sally was saying that things are slow on Mondays and Tuesdays, and I've got some ideas, right? You build that curiosity. When would you simply have 10 or 15 minutes to talk more? And then schedule the appointment. In fact, you can actually use the word how soon. That's a sense of urgency. How soon would you have 10 to 15 minutes to talk a little bit more? Because now you added that interest creating remark. Why Joe should pay attention to you. Oh, well, I trust Sally. Sally recommended I call. You guys had a brief conversation about the business and Sally wanted you to speak with me. And you have some ideas that might potentially help me. And you're only looking for 10 or 15 minutes. Now the walls are down. They might even say, well, if it's only 10 minutes, I got 10 minutes right now, Jason, thanks. What can I do for you? And you better have your consultation sheets out and start asking some questions, right? Because you're prepared. Or simply schedule the next step. Right, Jason, yeah, Mondays and Tuesdays are really slow for us before noontime. Great. How about I call you Monday at 10 a.m.? Perfect. Is this the best number to reach you at? Right? Now that is a great structure, and it all came from building a relationship with the gatekeeper, whether it was on the phone or in person. You've built that ally, so now that you can name drop when you do get that referral into the decision maker. Okay. Now we talk about qualified appointments. We also want to make sure that we know that Joe, I know that you probably hate when people no-show or late to their appointments, right? Yes. Great. I won't waste any of your time. I'll make sure that I contact you promptly Monday at 10 a.m. It's in my calendar in ink. That lets Joe know that you're serious. You're not going to waste his time. But then if something were to come up and Joe thinks, I don't know if I want to take this call or not, what's Jason going to sell me? In the back of Joe's mind, he's thinking, Jason said he wouldn't cancel on me, so I can't cancel on him. There's some integrity there. There's a gentleman's handshake, so to speak. That's a great professional tie down. Now you can also use another question, right? Do you see anything in your schedule that might prevent you from keeping our appointment? I know you're off on Mondays and Tuesdays lighter, but is there anything else that might get in the way? Well, yeah, actually got a doctor's appointment at 9 a.m., but I should be out by then. Great. Tell you what, in case it runs long, can we book it for 11 a.m.? Is that better? Well, I'm kind of busy. I've got a lunch appointment, so no, let's try and keep 10. Right? If it seems wishy-washy, I might say, you also mentioned Tuesday. Would Tuesday be better? I know Mondays, might get a little hectic in the morning, first day of the week. How about Tuesday at 10 a.m.? Oh yeah, that'd be great. Right? Try and get the best appointment, the best scenario for you. Hey, we're both busy. I want to make sure it's a solid appointment time, and I'm not going to waste your time. They're going to value that because you're a professional, because you understand the most important thing to the decision maker is their time and their money, right? So you've got to be very intentional. You've got to be very clear what to say to gatekeepers. Being short and sweet can work for voicemails, but not when talking to gatekeepers. When you get on the phone and it's a gatekeeper, or you have the sense that it's a gatekeeper, or you're in person with a gatekeeper, right? Again, you want to be specific about why you're there. Let them know exactly why you're calling. They don't have time to waste. They're not going to transfer a vague caller. Oh yeah, I don't know anything about you or what your company does or why you call, but yeah, here's Joe. No way, because Joe's going to come back to that gatekeeper and say, why did you do that? I told you, direct everything into my voicemail. No calls, right? Those are the conversations that happen behind closed doors. Establish that you're not a cold caller. And that's why you need to make sure you build that local trust. Are you also a small business owner in town? You're a consumer of the business, a patron. Are you a referral? How are you related? You're not just some random person smiling and dialing, right? 400 phone calls a day. That's not you. Integrity matters. Let them know that you aren't trying to sell them anything, right? You just want to set an appointment to learn about their business. That's also why you need to speak with the decision maker. However, if they're not willing to let you speak to the decision maker, speak with the gatekeeper. Again, they're valuable contacts for you in that establishment. Ask directly for the owner by name, right? If you do some great research, you might know who the business owner's name is up front when you call. So if you are calling, you might skip the gatekeeper process by just saying, you just might call up and say, hi, is Joe there? Yeah, can I ask who's calling? Oh, it's Jason. Okay. And they're actually going to just try and, hey, Joe, Jason's on the phone for you. Jason who? I don't know. Okay, I'll take the call. Right? When you ask for the name, there's a chance that you actually know them and there's a relationship. And when you make it casual like that, well, guess what? You're more likely to get through. If you say, this is Jason Pellin from Integrity Marketing Solutions, Joe is not in, right? Hey, it's Jason, right? So you want to be human. You want to be the best you that you can be, right? Okay, how do you handle rejection? Tell you what, ignore the no. If they are not the person to make a yes decision, they also can't make a no decision. But you need to be polite, rephrase, or redirect, right? And that's a process. I understand that Joe's time is busy. When is a better time, right? They're just trying to protect the business owner, the decision maker. That's their job. That's their role. So you want to break down those walls a little and say, I understand. You might even joke about it. I understand that Joe probably gets 1,000 of these calls a year or a month, and you're the one who has to handle them. I'm so sorry, right? But I've got some things that I really think could help the business that Joe is going to want to learn about. and I'm just looking for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, right? Continue. Never just take the no and walk away. You've got to try multiple times, and you want to be pleasantly persistent, right? Not pushy, but pleasantly persistent. Lets them know that you're a professional. Try again. Just call back and work harder. And sometimes it's timing. Maybe you don't know what's happening on the other end of the line in that person's life or what's happening in the office that day. So sometimes it's just a matter of doing a callback. Follow up. Just because they're on your candidate list and they said no once doesn't mean they're off the list. You just need to follow up and follow through. Put them in a calendar to schedule a callback in maybe another 30, 60, 90 days. Okay. And if you can't get through the gatekeeper, try calling in off hours, before the office opens, after hours, or during lunchtime, because many cases, when the employees and the staff go to lunch, before they get to work, who's in the office? The decision maker, the business owner, right? So there's only one person that can answer the phone, might be them. So try a different time to call. And again, they get 10 to 20 of these per day. So being different, being consistent, being personable, using people's names, asking for the decision maker's name. Make notes on your sheet. Write down the best time to follow up. Put it in your schedule and then do it. Do it. Honor the time they say, oh yeah, best time is to reach us after 2. Well, guess what? You better call the next time after 2 because they asked you. And let them know, I'm calling back because you asked me to call back after 2 o'clock on Thursday. Right? And then when you remind them of that, they say, oh, I did. I asked you to call back on Thursday. Okay, great. They don't know why you called, but if I tell them that they told me to call back, now they're all ears, right? So you've got to have a database. You've got to have notes because you are going to follow up with these people. It might take 12 contacts. It might take a year, 2 years. You've seen in the WebCenter owner support group, there might be some contacts that you have to follow up with for 3 or 4 years before you get your first appointment. It's not uncommon. Maybe the decision maker hired a new manager, right? Hired a new gatekeeper. You don't know what's happening. Maybe something has changed in their business. So you've got to always follow up. Now, another gatekeeper is the voicemail. Let me point you to voicemail, right? You need to create a reason for them to call you back. Pick one thing from your research and drop it in a positive way. Hey, I'd love to talk to you a little bit about that page that has an error message on your website. Hey, I'd love to share some information about that menu that didn't download on my phone when I was checking out your business. Hey, did some research. I couldn't find you on Google, so I thought I'd give you a call, right? That interest creating remark that creates a sense of urgency and a reason for them to contact you. Use their name in the message before you introduce yourself. Hi, Joe. This is Jason, right? Same thing, okay? Now, in a voicemail, you've got a lot less time. Say your phone number twice so they can write it down accurately. Hey, this is Jason giving me a call at 555-5555. I want to talk to you a little bit about the information I found about your website online, and I, just looking for maybe 10 minutes. Call me back, Jason, 555-5555, right? Because they're not going to rewind and listen to the voicemail. They might get caught up in something else. So when you say the number twice, there's a better opportunity for them to write it down. Speak slowly, clearly, and make sure that they can understand what that number is. Never say that you'll call them back. Hey, Joe, it's Jason. I'll give you a call back tomorrow after 2. Now you've given Joe a reason not to call you back because he's going to wait for your call and put you in voicemail again. So these are little things that make a big difference, right? So never tell them that you'll call them back, right? Best times to call someone between 7 and 8 a.m. or 4:30 to 6, unless it's a restaurant or a breakfast place, but that's before after hours, okay? Outside of their work days, outside of the days, the times that they're operating their business. Now, again, if you're on or calling into a different time zone, keep that in mind. And your voicemail should be short, sweet, and to the point, under 15 seconds. In fact, I've always thought that one of the best voicemails to leave is your name and your number. Hi, Joe. This is Jason. Please give me a call back. My phone number is 555-5555. Again, looking forward to your call back, 555-5555. Under 15 seconds, you said the name, your phone number twice, and they have no idea why they're calling you, but they will call you back, right? That is almost an 80% chance that you're going to get a call back. As soon as you start saying any sales information, They're going to think that you're a sales professional trying to sell them something. Even if you use some of the research, they're going to think that. So you have to be careful, and that's why you need to be very specific, and you might have to try a couple different things. Don't sell, but be different, right? So in summary, gatekeepers are people too. Connect with them, dump the script, be a person, have a conversation, learn their names, refer to them by their names. Be relatable, establish that warm connection. I'm a customer, I'm a colleague, I was referred to you by, I was stopping in next door, I've been by this place a million times. Assume that they are the people that can help you. Are you the one to speak to about this? Make them feel important. Are you the manager? Are you the decision maker? Are you the person responsible? Leverage their knowledge, ask for their advice. When do you think a better time to call would be? Is it better to call before or after lunch? What do you think? If you were to run the business, what would you do, right? Give them some power, some ownership, some responsibility. It makes them feel important. And when you do that, it makes you more valuable in the relationship. Stay polite at all costs. There will be times where it's a bad time, bad day, rough personality. They might have had the 30th call and they're tired of it. You are interrupting their day. They were in the middle of running a spreadsheet analysis that has to be due at the end of the hour, and you disrupted it by calling them, right? They might be agitated, short. Apologize. I'm so sorry. I understand that this is not a good time. Let me call back another time, right? When might be a better time to call? Never. Okay. Have a great day. Call back. Call back a week later, right? The idea is that you want to hold the higher ground. And of course, follow up. This is simply the first contact, not your only contact, right? So when you keep good notes, you're more effective in your follow-up process. It's going to take you, on average, 5 to 12 contacts before you're going to get anywhere. Most reps in any sales scenario give up after the first or second attempt. It's going to take 5 to 12 contacts. You've got to be in it for the long haul. And when you do that, they know that you're pleasantly persistent and you are now valuable to them. So review week 3 in your 12-week action plan, all about getting past the gatekeeper. There's some information and some tips right on that action plan that we talked about this evening. Again, stay on top of your weekly exercises, but most important, your activity, right? Who did you contact for the business? Who did you contact for a WebCenter appointment? Have you had any appointments? Are you following up? Right? You want to stay organized. You're in week 3. By now, you should have some contacts that you've reached out to, right? So it's all about following through. So here is your challenge for the week. Your challenge. I want you to leave yourself a voicemail. I want you to call your number or call from a different line and leave yourself a voicemail. If you're really brave, I want you to call a business partner and ask them, hey, I'd like to leave you a voicemail. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, just use a voice recorder. Just record yourself on your cell phone, pull out the voice recorder, and pretend you're leaving a voicemail. And then listen to it. Listen to it. Criticize yourself. Critique it. You have to do this. It's all part of professional development. If you want to be better, you need to be better. If you want to get better, you got to be better. How did you sound? When you listen to it, how did it make you feel? How can you improve? Try it again. Maybe you write down a couple bullet points and then you say, okay, I'm going to leave myself a voicemail again. What did it sound like? Would I call myself back? If I had that voicemail come in, would I call myself back? Okay. And even use it as an initial script. Role play a little bit with yourself. Instead of it being a voicemail, pretend it's your contact. Hi, Sally, this is Jason. The reason I'm calling is, right, go through it. Because guess what? Your tongue and your lips are all powered by muscles. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So you might have the best written script in the world, but if you don't use those words and you don't have that coming out of your mouth and your tongue is not used to making those words and those sounds and those tones, you're going to bumble, you're going to stumble, you're going to stutter. It's all about practicing, right? So leave yourself a voicemail, listen to it, critique it. I would also encourage you, and I'm going to ask you to identify a WebCenter owner that you'll role play with this week and make calls to each other. Practice the contacting. This is the number one skill. This is the skill that will pay the bills. Communication. You'll set more appointments, you'll be a more effective communicator, and that's when you're going to see your retail profits increase. If you can learn this, it'll roll over into every area of your life. Your Market America business, your WebCenter business, your team members, your children, your spouse, your relationships. will all improve when you focus on learning the skill of communication, effectively communicating. So what you can do is practice. Now, practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, but no one's perfect, right? You learn by doing, you learn through experience. So please don't take this lightly. Take a WebCenter owner, go through the WebCenter owner support group, find someone in your team, find a senior partner, find a junior partner, doesn't matter. Find someone to role play with and rate yourself on your activity, right? Right now, it's week 3. Going into week 3, are you on track to achieve your monthly goal? Right? We talked about planning, strategy, goal setting, and action plan. Where are you? Are you on track to achieve your monthly goal? So what do you need to do next week to make sure that you do accomplish your goal? This is up to you, right? Attitude, activity, and skill. We talked about skill, doing the drills. You guys all have the right attitude. You're learning, you're here. Now it's about activity. Take a look back. What was your goal for a month? And are you on track? What do you need to do? What needs to change for you to improve? We're always here. We've got some phenomenal WebCenter owners. We've got trainers. We've got myself, some from the email inbox. We got product specialists. We're all here to help you because everyone is in this together. Teamwork makes the dream work. And what's good for one is good for all. So reach out. If you're having challenges, reach out to someone. mawebcenters@marketamerica.com. Email me, jasonp@marketamerica.com. Use the WebCenter Owner Support Facebook group. It's up to you to reach out for assistance. Everyone wants accountability, but then when there's time to have accountability, no one reaches out for help. Okay? So do the activities. Do these activities because they will make a difference. And I will have this in your follow-up email for the week. So I hope everyone has a great week 3. Looking forward to hearing for your success. And we are 3 weeks into a 13.1 week half marathon and looking forward to getting through the next couple weeks as we move into a really powerful season with the holidays coming up.